second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 11-2021.
Yes, Mayor. Second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 11-2021. An ordinance of the Township Committee of the Township of Wall in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, repealing and replacing certain sections of Chapter 140-140 and Chapter 105 of the Township Code prohibiting businesses from selling marijuana and/or paraphernalia.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll vote for the hearing? Yeah. At this point, we're going to open up this ordinance number 11-2021 to the public. Does anybody have any, Mr. DeLuca, you're up.
Yes.
Okay, we made an ordinance back about a year and a half ago, and that ordinance had to be changed because then we finally passed recreational marijuana, so it cost the taxpayer money, but you just led right into me. Manufacturing, we can't, so you just said about commercial. Why are you restricting this? If we have someone that wants to open a 100,000 square foot manufacturing plant, they're going to pay commercial rate. Why are you limiting it? This is ridiculous. Because there is places selling paraphernalia right now, and they still can sell paraphernalia. And it comes under, so, I mean, you're spending money, and then you just went right into my hand, because you said about, you don't want to overtax commercial too much because people come here, they spend money, blah, 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 blah. So you just put it in. So now you're going to restrict. If someone wanted to open up there for 34 in the industrial area, 110,000 square foot facility to manufacture it, what's the problem? It's under the Federal Drug Administration. It's going to be secure. So it's everything, they have protocols in place and all. So, I mean, this is like, and now they're spending money, another ordinance. And every time we do an ordinance, it costs us money. It's billable hours when the attorney read the town. So, I mean, you just said about revenue or having a problem for every town has it, but not every town has it, because not every town is forced to do affordable housing, so they don't have that problem. But that's what I want to say. So I think this should be repealed and just see what happens. Well, I don't think anyone, if some place came in and was going to manufacture it, what was wrong with that? They have to abide by all the ordinances, everything that, the building's got to be secure, plants got to be monitored. I mean, it brings in tax revenue to the town. I think this is ridiculous. Every time we have something, this is going to be the second one we're doing. It costs us how much each time to do this? And then you don't enforce it, because there are places that have been selling paraphernalia for years, and they'll continue to sell it. So you don't enforce it, so don't put it on the books. It's the way the Constitution, if you don't enforce it, it's not really a law. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Duca. Anybody else? So state your name and where you're from.
Hello, my name is Keith Henson. I am a resident of the President Street section of Wall Township. So 67%. 67% is the number of Wall Township voters who voted for legalization of cannabis. So that being said, this ordinance goes directly against the will of the people of the town, your constituents. Colorado in 2000 to 2015 experienced a 0.7% less death rate from opiate overdose after the opening of dispensaries within Colorado, according to PubMed.gov. Alongside the bill for cannabis within New Jersey, it comes with a local cannabis tax, which would allow the municipality of Wall Township to collect 2% sales, 2% revenue for sale, cultivation, manufacture, and 1% for wholesale. So I believe that, as Mr. DeLuca was saying, this would be actually a perfect fund for projects like affordable housing, education, transportation, infrastructure, all sorts of things that we could do that is not going to come directly out of the taxpayers' wallets. They'll be coming from the sale of a product that is in high demand and is part of a billion-dollar industry across this nation. I feel like that if Wall Township does not participate in this, we're losing out. As far as DUIs, I believe that having somebody go outside of town to go get their cannabis and come back brings more risk for DUIs than it would to have a shop right in town where somebody could go get their stuff, go back home, and enjoy it. I know firsthand that anybody that smokes marijuana, once they're smoking, they're usually wanting to sit in place and order food. I feel like that will also be really good for restaurants in town to have additional revenue from people that are a bit high. Also, I believe that banning delivery would be detrimental to DUI situations as well, because it doesn't make sense to ban any sort of delivery. You can just have a sober driver go and then deliver it to somebody that is, wants to participate. I also believe that this ordinance is a affront on personal freedom. If somebody wants to open up a cannabis business, I believe that it is their American right to do so, and I believe that this ordinance is actually, like I said, against that 67%. In my hand, I have a petition that has been going around online for the past 3 days. If anybody wants to take a look at it, I'll pass it around.
Not all of this, you decide. You can keep it. Everything else.
Not all of the people that sign the petition are Wall residents, but that also does show that people outside of Wall in the online community can see that this is wrong and that we should reconsider. So given that, I hope that you guys may have learned something here, or I might have stated some sort of fact that you might not have heard, and I really think that you guys should reconsider, like I said. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Sir, state your name and where you live.
My name is Lincoln Bratton, 2006 Lincoln Avenue. I live near this fine gentleman over here. I would ask you guys to reasonably pause, or at least consider waiting to hear more information on cannabis legalization across the state, because I had to experience life a little bit differently than a lot of people here. I was a cannabis user at a young age. I wouldn't say too young, 18, 19, whatever have you. But I had to go and get my medical card because the officers here didn't believe that my medical use or my use of cannabis was acceptable at all. I suffered from PTSD because of Wall Township officers. I still remember the names: Officers Cadigan, Officers Baldano. I still remember them. This is absolutely ridiculous. Can you at least allow medical or something here in the town? Maybe I can get some social justice and open and become a part of society that you guys wanted so bad. I'm the youngest of 6 brothers. 2 of them overdosed in my house. I was 8 years old. 8 years old. I don't know if anybody else here had to experience something like that. And if you have, I'm sorry that you did. But yes, I was a user at that time, because it made me feel better. I didn't have to think about that. But the officers here did not accept that. And I don't feel like this is acceptable to just say, you know what, let's not accept cannabis here at all. Sad news is, guys, it's here. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. And I'm a medical patient, so if there's time to go, I'm going to be growing in my backyard. It's going to happen. And that is not anybody else's fault. So I'm asking you guys to just wait, reconsider, listen. You guys want tax money. You guys want tax money, we need tax money. What better way than allowing a black male that went to Wall Township High School, graduate 2007. I lost 2 friends as well. John Stalker, Mark Goss, from overdoses. But they could have had an outlet. They could have had an outlet. They're not here anymore. They didn't have an outlet. John Capac didn't have an outlet either. That's another one of my friends. Officer Cadigan will probably remember him as well. So I'm asking you guys to please reconsider, or at least speak to me and allow me to open something up here and create something better here in Wall, because you guys sweep things under the rugs. You do. I'm sorry. But that's just how this town is. Things get swept under the rug. I'm not gonna let this try to get swept under the rug. I'm not. I don't feel like it's acceptable at all for you guys to sit here and say, you know what, this revenue, this avenue of money, we're not even gonna accept it. These kids that are coming out of Wall Township High School, we're not gonna give them a way of getting some sort of education. Cannabis industry is booming. Chemists, botanists, you're talking growers that can make $100,000 a year. I'm not making that. I barely can make 4 minutes. You want to wrap it up, Tom?
You have 4 minute limit. I'm sorry.
I'm just asking you guys, please reconsider, at least wait, hear some statistics from other towns. Tom's River's already waiting, they're waiting. I feel like we should at least take that consideration, because I had to rush to get this.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. Anyone else? Also, please state your name and address.
Matthew Clausen. I'm in the presidential section of Wall Township. Moved in recently. I'm not much of a public speaker usually. I wasn't even planning on saying anything at first, so bear with me. I was arrested in this town for cannabis and treated as on my way to work as if I was drunk. Drunk driving, DUI was the way I was treated on my way to my job. See, the ironic thing is that I was treated that way in that fashion, but they sell alcohol. Alcohol is harmful, is it not? I think it is in a lot of cases. But it's totally accessible here. It's proven, if you look into it, that marijuana is a much safer alternative. And I think you're limiting a lot of people about having this ban. Now people can access, and as my friend here said, can participate in it and make money through it legally. And I just think that the benefits for the town are greater than you might be seeing. I do think it is absolutely absurd that you would put a ban on this. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Ma'am, state your name and address.
Suzette Grimm, Wall Township, Painters Road. So my interest in the industry is not as a user, because I don't use, but I was just wondering, I know by the time you guys sit here, your decision's already been made, but I'm just interested in if you looked at the revenue that we would be losing by not participating in at least doing manufacturing, because I understand that manufacturing, it's going to attract business people. It's not going to attract users or the wrong kind of people that I think maybe a lot of people are concerned about. So I'm curious what your decisions, why you made the decision that I'm sure you have, against at least something like manufacturing. Can you answer a question? Or?
The public hearing portion is over.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
So after the public portion hearing is over, there could be comments from the committee.
All right.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Can I make one last point? No? Okay.
Hello.
State your name, sir, and address.
My name is Dan Stinger. I grew up on 1134 New Upson Road. I was a resident of Wall Township for 20 years, and I'm here today as a candidate for the New Jersey State Senate. Hello, Senator Kane. And here to support my friends over here. I don't really have much to say. I had a whole bunch of stuff written down, but not a lot that my friends here have already said. The only thing that I have to say is this does nothing other than to undermine the will of the voters. 2/3 of people in New Jersey voted to legalize recreational marijuana. Before that, you preemptively passed something that was supposed to already serve this function, to not have businesses here. The voters overruled that, and now you're trying to undermine them again. And that is just undemocratic, and it is not, it's undemocratic, and it's un-American in my opinion. So it's something that you really should reconsider, because all you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. This does nothing but serve to reinforce the dominance that this committee has over this town and has had over this town ever since 1997 when I moved here. So that's really all I have to say about that. The people that are already here in this community are fighting for themselves, so I don't need to speak much more. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'd like to close the public portion. Can I have an ordinance, a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Committeeman Kingman.
Yes.
Committeewoman Mangan. Committeeman Orender.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Becht.
Yes.
Mayor Farrell.
Yes.
We have 5 yeas.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few comments about some of the testimony during the public hearing. Excuse me. First of all, somebody said that it was a waste of taxpayers' money for the attorney to have to draft another ordinance. The statute that the state legislature passed and the governor signed required towns to pass another ordinance. If they had previously had one under the new law, they were required to do so again. So if we all wanted to opt out, that was something we were required to do. Somebody said that the FDA will have control over the manufacturing facilities if the law opted to go that route. And actually, the FDA has nothing to do with it. Marijuana consumption and manufacture and distribution is still a federal crime, notwithstanding the vote that took place in New Jersey. Also, somebody said that we shouldn't ban delivery of marijuana. And the statute that passed in Trenton did not permit towns to ban delivery. So if you live in Wall and you want to call up Asbury Park or wherever marijuana is sold, they can drive it to your homestead if you wish that. Somebody also said about DWI. Under the new law and under the old law, driving while under the influence of marijuana is still a violation of the DWI statute. That has not changed. And if you want, it's not your turn to speak. Sorry, okay? We're creating a record, so you can't step on me when I'm speaking, okay? Also, 180 days to opt out is what the statute provided for, and the young lady said that, well, you should take a while and look at it and consider it, like Tom's River is. I don't know what Tom's River is doing. But if we wait to 180 days, then we won't have the ability to exercise home rule and make that determination, but we can always come back later in a year and say we'll take manufacturing or something else. So there is a time factor that the town did consider in putting the ordinance on the agenda tonight. And then finally, one of the young men said that this is entirely undemocratic, the way this is being handled up here. And I have to remind that individual, if they were students of government or of the legislature, that the statute that passed in Trenton provided the option for towns to opt out. So we're merely following the option that the law provides. So I don't know how that could be undemocratic. Thank you, Mayor.
67% and not following voters' rates.
Okay, your public portion is over now, so please don't speak out. Thank you. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. King. Is the number 10 on this, yeah. At this point, now we'll move on to consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mayor. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the township and will be adopted or approved collectively by a single motion and roll call vote of a majority of the Township Committee. All items are available for public inspection at this meeting and in the office of the Township Clerk. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If a discussion is desired on an item, it will be considered separately. Mayor?
1 second, Madam Clerk. We didn't vote on, we didn't close the motion for the sale of marijuana, right?
Sure we did.
We closed it. Yeah, we closed the hearing, we didn't vote on the motion. Did we?
No voted.
We didn't vote on the ordinance.
They all voted.
We didn't vote on the ordinance.
I don't think we did either.
I don't think so.
No, I agree.
No, because Aaron,
Did we vote to close it? Let's take another vote, Roberta, just in case.
wasn't on record. So we voted for,
Yeah, can I have a motion again, just to be sure, on ordinance number 11
Let's get second reading
dash 2021 as to its second reading
and final reading.
and final reading. Advertised pursuant to law. Madam Clerk. Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
Committeeman Kingman.
Yes.
Committeewoman Mangan.
Yes.
Committeeman Orender.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Mayor Farrell.
Yes.
We have 5 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, the consent agenda, we've read the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Like to read the,
Yeah, Charity, right.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call vote?
I did already. Committeeman Kingman.
Yes.
Committeewoman Mangan.
Yes.
Committeeman Orender.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Mayor Farrell.
Yes, with the exception of, I'm abstaining from that. I vote yes.
We have 5 yeas, and the mayor is abstaining on item I.
Okay. Yep. At this point, we're going to move on to public comment. Madam Clerk, could you read public comment?
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the committee's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A, the committee asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. The committee will respect the public's time by refraining any comments until the speaker has finished with their allotted time. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the Township Administrator's office during regular business hours. The attorney will regulate the time during the public comment portion of our meeting.
At this point, I'd like to open up this portion to the public. Does anybody wish to make comments? Mr. Luca?
Yes. So it looks like all ordinances, we're going to vote twice on the same ordinances. You have here the book about the streets and stuff. I keep on mentioning about, cleaning our streets. So in June, we're going to be the last brush pickup. So it'd be nice if we go through the holiday before they do it, but it would be nice that when they pick up the brush, they have either a street cleaner behind them cleaning up, and hopefully they don't go when everyone has their garbage cans out. So when the street cleaner can't get close to the curb where all the debris is, and he just drives up and down the streets. It happened the last time. The other thing, Memorial Day was coming up, and this book you send people never follow. We have bulk sitting out in the streets all over the place. They're not going to pick it up till June. I heard from the water department, we did flush the fire hydrants. I don't think the one across the street from mine was flushed, but anyway, he said that they weren't as dirty as previous years because during the pandemic, well, we're still in the pandemic, but anyway, they did it in November and then they came back and did it in April. And years ago, as I still recall, that we used to flush twice a year, which saves the pipes and saves the person's house for the hot water heater of getting sediment in it or getting rust in their toilet bowl and have to buy a new one. The storm drains, when Mr. Orlando was the mayor, the storm drains were cleaned about on World and 4th Avenue and 3rd and World. They haven't been cleaned at all. In your brochure here, it says about pollution and stormwater. You have a whole big thing here, but you guys don't clean the storm drains. And I think it's a mandate that it's supposed to be cleaned every year. And we don't do it. And in the section of town I have, there must be maybe 13, 14 of them. You have a vacuum truck. I know it's considered hazardous waste when you suck out of a storm sewer and you got to take it to the treatment plant. But you have in here about, oil from parking lots go into the thing. You have the whole thing in this book here. And you don't hold up your end. And the last time they were cleaned, like I said, Kevin was our mayor. You haven't been a mayor. He came out. He saw the debris come out of it. Okay, and it all goes to Lily Pond, and that's getting overflown, and that's probably going to have to be dredged one day because water's not going to be here. The other night, Rash Field's lights were on all night long. I left the house at 3:30 in the morning. It woke me up because the light's shining in, because there's some trees that were down from storm, so now there's more light coming my way, and it hits my bedroom window. They're on all night. They know how to bypass when the timer at 10 o'clock goes off. They turn it on, but they can't turn it off when they leave at 10:30 or 11. So it stays on all night long until the maintenance guy comes every day to Ashfield and does some maintenance. The most manicured place in Wall Township, Ashfield. More maintenance than anything I ever saw in my life. My streets are dirty, I gotta clean my catch basins, the debris on it. I gotta clean the street. The other thing, garbage. People put garbage cans out. I have recyclables on Monday, they're out on Sunday. Garbage is Wednesday, they're out on Tuesday. We have garbage cans in the street all day long, from Monday to Wednesday. Right on Belmar Boulevard, you pick up recyclables and garbage on the same day. I asked to do it in our area. I hear the garbage truck bang, bang, bang on Monday and bang, bang, bang on Wednesday. Why can't we just have either Monday or Wednesday? They do it right off of Belmar Boulevard, which is less than a quarter of a mile away. So
It's 4:30, thank you.
it's 4:30 in the afternoon? Anyway, well, let me get this real fast. You mentioned the last time on the meeting about your daughters, and I don't like when community people mention their family, but I'm not criticizing, but you said you were trying to do something with the girls to get in leadership roles. You have a deputy mayor on that last meeting that's flashing his picture, and you're trying to get your daughters for roles. I'm going to go over a little bit because it should be 7 minutes.
So finish up, please.
But anyway, so you wanted your daughters, that's a great thing. I think more women should be on this panel. I'm 100% for that. But this guy is flashing his picture. I don't know about the things that came to his text message, but what the person was saying.
Well, 5.5 minutes, please finish up.
He was flashing his thing. And all the township was worried about changing from public portion from 7 to 5. And you want your daughters to be in things, so, I think it's ironic. And then you have him doing that on the meeting. It's supposed to be an adult. Okay, some of these kids have more common sense than adults. But I don't want to bring your children, but you bring it up, so I'm glad that you want to put them in leadership roles. I'm all for that, but 6 minutes, when you have something like that, I don't know how you justify it, and then you sit there and you vote with the guys.
Is anyone else with public comment? Please state your name and address.
Keith Hunsinger, President Streets. I can't say anything else, but I'm extremely disappointed this town has failed. I believe 67% of the voters should have the rights that they're entitled to. I think you guys are sidestepping democracy with this ordinance. I think you should expect petitions. You should expect protests. You should expect the will of the people to persevere. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Public comment? Seeing none, close the section, public comment. Can I have a motion to close?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote?
Committeeman Kingman.
Yes.
Committeewoman Mangan.
Yes.
Committeeman Orander.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Becht.
Yes.
Mayor Farrell.
Yes.
We have 5 yeas.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. At this point, we'll move on to closing comments by Township Committee. Committeeman Kingman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to say thank you to all the people that came out tonight to be part of this process. I think that your coming out and speaking your mind in front of us is an integral part of the entire government process and how we make our decisions. I want to say that I think that our vote on this ordinance, at least for me, I don't feel like the dispensary, I don't want to encroach on any of your rights. I don't begrudge you anything. If it's something that you want to do, we're not saying that you can't do it here in town, but I don't know that really fits the fabric of what Wall Township is and what we've been trying to do. So that's where I come from on that. And like I said, I applaud you coming out, and I appreciate your thoughts on it. And that's all I have for tonight, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Committeeman Kingman. Committeewoman Magnan, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In regards to the Women's Leadership Committee, I do want to address that. The Women's Leadership Committee of the town, the enrollment age is actually 13 and above. We figured it would be a great opportunity for young women who are in intermediate school or in the high school and would like to stand beside the women leaders of our town and work together and educate, inspire, and encourage each other. Unfortunately, my daughters are not of that age, so they won't be able to participate. So I just wanted to clarify this statement. It's not to bring them into this committee. This committee is really just to give women the opportunity to come together and within common goals and having the same mission. And when you say that I vote with the guys, I highly disagree with that. My votes are my votes. They will always be my votes. I do my research, I do my education, and I vote for the best interest of the people. Okay? So that I want to just clarify, because putting that on record, yes, I am only the fourth woman to sit up here on this committee, and I am doing my due diligence for this township.
You also ran unopposed.
Folks, you're not allowed to comment. Public comment period is over. You know better. So please leave comment, folks.
And in regards to the marijuana dispensary that you were looking to have in town, as a mother of young children, I will not stand for have this in our township. I'm strongly opposed to it. Let that go on record.
Folks, this is going to be the last time you've been told it's not your portion any longer. You had your portion. The governing body is speaking now. If you continue to act out, we'll ask you to be removed from the meeting. Okay? Have some decorum and just follow the rules.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Finished? Thank you, Committeeman Magnan. Committeeman Oranda.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I don't have much to say, except for the fact that tonight, there's a number thrown out there, 67% of the people in New Jersey voted for
marijuana, correct? I represent Wall Township.
7% of Wall Township.
Wrong.
Look it up.
All right, you,
Matter of public
well,
record.
I'm just saying, I represent Wall Township, and being a former narcotics agent, officer in New York City, I will never allow marijuana in our town. Now, let me finish.
Take your officers to the
Chris, take them out. Enough. Take them out. Take them all out.
Why? You addressed me personally.
I'm talking to you right now. Let me finish talking. I don't need to be yelled at, I don't need to be yelled at by you. I have no problem with this medical marijuana. You guys deserve it. But when the gun starts bleeding out, I don't like the smell of it personally. I don't want it wafting over my fence, okay? So you have a right to smoke it, and then your comments are, we're going to go personally now. Your comments about, I don't want to drive from another town, I'd rather buy it in my town, you shouldn't be driving at all with it and smoking with it, regardless of how far you have to drive. That's still under the influence, correct?
Hey, I would rather it be sold in the town, so...
I'd rather not. Because we're in a big town. If you drive from one end to the other, it's 25 miles. You'll be hounded before you get out of the town.
Not if people are responsible with it, and I think they
No,
should be given that
listen.
option.
The state passed it, that's fine. You go to your town and buy it and enjoy it all you want, but not in my town as long as I'm on this committee. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
So,
you might not be.
I'll be here forever. Don't worry about it.
I might run against you,
Go for it. I welcome it.
because it is my duty as an American
I welcome it.
to stick up for the 67%. I second that.
All right.
And as far as
You can't talk, folks. You're not allowed to talk.
use of marijuana dropped because people couldn't get it.
That's good. Sir, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Okay?
Yep, okay.
Deputy Mayor Beck?
Mr. Mayor, my comments are going to be extremely brief. I concur with all the comments of my fellow commissioners, committeemen, and the mayor, and I stand by the statements that made previously. That's what makes Wall Township the town it is, beautiful, and I'm proud to live here.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Beck. Finishing, someone made a comment why we don't have, we allow marijuana to be manufactured here. And I did a lot of listening the last 18 months, different people in the town, how they felt with marijuana. It was overwhelming. People did not want marijuana in the town, anywhere. They didn't want to sell it, they didn't want to manufacture it, they didn't want to farm it, they didn't want it in there. So we're just echoing what the voters wanted. The greater majority of voters did not want marijuana in the town. So that's why I feel the way I do. And, the other towns, local towns around us, they all feel the same way we do too. I don't know of any town yet that has approved selling marijuana in a local vicinity like Brielle or Manasquan or Bricktown. It was just recently voted against it, so. And this town just felt that the quality of life would change if marijuana was brought in, so it's the way we feel. But I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and wish everybody a happy and safe Memorial Day. Mr. Mayor.
Can I ask one question?
Mr. Mayor, as a reminder, the Memorial Day recognition is being held on Monday at 10 o'clock. You are...
Memorial ceremony at 10 o'clock on Monday at Municipal Hall here. Hopefully we'll be able to go outside. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, right, John.
Motion adjourned?
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Committeeman Kingman.
Yes.
Committeewoman Mangan.
Yes.
Committeeman Orander.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Becht.
Yes.
Mayor Farrell.
Yes.
We have 5 yeas. Meeting's adjourned.